Peanut?
Hello, I'm Vince Cox and I'd like to welcome you to this, my DVD compilation of continuity errors and general cock-ups that have been overlooked or perhaps just simply missed during the filming of what is, in my opinion, the greatest 60s television series ever submitted to celluloid, the fabulous Randall and Hopkirk Deceased. This is the original and by far the best, of course, and should under no circumstances ever be confused with the diabolical remake which disgraced our television screens a few years ago. It shouldn't be difficult, of course, as this original series had real actors as opposed to two people whose acting was almost as bad as their attempts at being comedians. However, moving on, during this DVD we'll be looking at as many of the errors that were missed as I can spot, some of which you may have spotted yourself, especially if, like me, you are a true fan and have watched the 26 episodes over and over again to the point of knowing the script backwards. The first errors we're going to look at are from the first ever episode, My Late Lamented Friend and Partner. As Jeff drives up the Mews to Happy Lee's place, passing first one Volkswagen Beetle and then parking in the middle of the road practically next to the second Beetle. Then, as he gets out of the car, we notice that not only has he parked very much over to the left of the road, but that the Beetle has moved further up. Also, we see that the door that Jeff is approaching is blue, but as Happy Lee comes to open it, the inside is white, and hey presto, the outside is white as well.
I'm Randall. Marty Hopkirk was my partner.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
We move on to the deliciously eerie episode All Work and No Pay, featuring those eccentric brothers, George and Henry Foster. I've spotted 4 errors in this episode, starting with this one as the brothers draw up outside Jean's flat, where we see the car parking in front of the unmistakable windows, trees, low-level wall and hedge, etc. Suddenly, they've all gone, to be replaced with a grand arched doorway, a wrought iron fence and white brickwork. Clever, eh?
Yes.
Here's another one that the continuity artist missed. Jean goes to use the phone to get Jeff's help and she has to duck to avoid getting clouted by a low-flying stool which smashes into the new widescreen plasma television. It breaks the glass and pushes the TV from the front to the back of the table. But when we see it again, it's back at the front of the table with no broken glass to be seen. Slight positioning problem here in the laundrette, or Wendy's Burger Bar if you prefer it. Marty is quite clearly seen sitting a little bit back from Jeff, but when the camera moves to the front, they're level.
Do you remember before I was married? Wash day, bringing our laundry in here. Warm in the winter, cool in the summer. Sandwiches.
How long ago was that, Marty?
Must be 6 or 7 years ago.
Exactly. I'm still doing the same. What kind of progress is that?
Oh, you get very philosophical in my condition, Jeff. I mean, money, fame, these things don't matter anymore. Even time...
Sitting level. Oh, sitting back again, look at that.
A lot of difference when I still haven't got 2 pennies to rub together.
Good morning.
The last little error is in this scene where Jean drives to the Foster brothers' grand house, gets out of that famous Mini. Haha, I've been in that Mini, don't you know? And she rings the bell. That's not in Ned Andre. Anyway, after she rings the bell, she notices that the door's unlocked, in fact open, so she pushes it and walks in. And all of a sudden, a wall appears behind her. Wasn't there before, was it? The next episode we look at is the classic Never Trust a Ghost. Poor old Jeff is on a promise with the gorgeous Sandra, but little does he know that Marty is waiting for him in his empty flat. Did I say empty? Then whose shadow is that passing by on the wall behind him? Do you want to see it again? You have to be quick. Oh, there it goes. Did you see it? Jeff is now in the process of giving Sandra a generous measure of vodka. She gets the drink to her lips, and suddenly, whoops, a slight continuity problem there, I think. The only other one I noticed is another backdrop error as Jeff and Marty pull up outside the offices. The brick wall and the doors disappear and are replaced with a grey wooden warehouse effect. Lovely. I was only able to spot one error in That's How Murder Snowballs. You may know better, of course. It was just a small little thing. Here as Marty's bowing down, his tie's hanging out. Look, watch. Hanging out, tucked in. Murder ain't what it used to be as a firm favourite with me, although it seems that with a lot of Randall and Hopkirk fans it's either a love it or a hate it episode. It never seems to hover in the middle as an average. A couple of hiccups in this episode, starting with Bugsy levitating the wedding present vase. When it first lifts up, it looks okay, but then not only can you see the strings holding it, but also the rail running across the ceiling along which it slides.
It's a wedding present!
Yeah.
Thank you. Now listen to me, whatever your name is. You leave my wife alone!
I've always thought this is a great episode. I've always enjoyed it. I think there's some great interaction between Marty and Bugsy, some good ghostly effects, and lots of comedy, and of course some good locations. And of course my opinion is very, very important.
And listen.
The next faux pas we see is here as Jeannie picks up a magazine off the coffee table. She goes to read it, crosses her legs, and as she's reading, all of a sudden, whoops, it's gone.
12 months.
Well, after you've been at it for a little while, you might pick up a thing or two. Of course, it does require a superior intellect.
You don't look very superior to me.
You got a nice little operation going for you around here. Play your cards right, nothing's gonna change.
What cards?
Kirstner. Paul Kirstner.
I see. So you're haunting him.
Hunting him. And now I've got some help. Your kind of help.
Well, how can I help? I can't keep up with you.
You got a partner, haven't you?
The last little hitch is here, and this is obviously Annette Andre being a little bit forgetful and forgetting that she's not supposed to be able to see Kenneth Cope, and clearly stands up and visibly steps round him.
Tell me.
The last continuity error for this episode is here in Kirstner's study. He hands Jeff a whiskey, which he takes with his right hand and lowers and holds in two. Suddenly it's in his left hand, drinks with his left hand and lowers it with his right hand. When I first started watching this excellent programme as a 9-year-old boy, it was in the old black and white days. Could I go back to those times? I don't think so.
Look, I can take care of myself, Randall. Don't you worry about that. But if they get their hands on Susan...
That depends if they know you're here.
Not now.
To me, Randall and Hopkirk Deceased has always been the ultimate 60s TV series. Think of the 60s, think of Randall and Hopkirk Deceased. And as a 9-year-old kid, it was quite literally the only programme that held my attention. It's so good that errors are hard to come by. But in Whoever Heard of a Ghost Dying, there's two. Maybe Vanessa, John, or any of the other lovely Rardus gang members know better. I'm sure they'll tell me. The first one is here as Jeff shows Marty a photo of the gang's hideout. He holds the photo with his finger and thumb of his right hand. But when the camera zooms in, he's holding it with a few more. Secondly, in Lord Manning's library, Inspector Large turns Jeff round in the book corner, but then he suddenly jumps out of the corner to his right.
I know you know. You want to...
I guess one of the reasons that I like The House on Haunted Hill so much is the fact that the main location used in the episode has almost become the Rardus gang's meeting headquarters. Again, I've only spotted two little errors worth mentioning in this episode. The first is the obvious changing of the door through which Latimer runs, which changes from a varnished wooden panel door to a yellowy cream colour. During the same scene when Jeff and Latimer tumble out onto the landing, Latimer drops the gun onto the stained varnished wooden floor, which suddenly changes to a very rough, untreated floor with what looks like nails sticking out of it. Next, we move to an episode that I think really showcases the true acting talent of the wonderful and much missed Mike Pratt. When did you start to stop seeing things? It's a beautifully constructed episode that really does convince the viewer that Jeff Randall has a double. Having said that, it's not without a couple of hitches, the first being here when Marty visits Sir Oliver's surgery in Harley Street. He moves to the door and we clearly see a highly polished brass letterbox with brass nameplates above it. But as the camera zooms in, they turn into signs that are definitely not polished brass.
Keeps everyone quiet.
We move to the cellar where Jeff is incarcerated and we find Marty's winding him right up with regards to his less redeeming qualities.
He's bad-tempered, just like you. Not very bright, just like you, and makes the usual number of mistakes.
Just like me. Thanks very much.
All right. I suppose I better get you out of here.
So after putting Jeff in a bad mood, Marty finally decides to help him get out of the cellar. He goes and has a look at the other side of the door and we